Due to unfortunate circumstances, I have decided to review the movie Pulp Fiction, and the scene that I decided to review was the Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace at the Jack Rabbit Slim's, which is a diner that Vincent Vega takes Mia Wallace to, and basically in this scene, it's a correlation between the two of them, specifically a conversation of them sitting in a booth, and then them getting their drinks and ordering food. So, to talk about appearance, the first character I'm going to talk about is Vincent Vega. So, Vincent Vega is a male character. He's Caucasian. He has very dark, black, almost dark brown hair. And he seems to be very shapely and intelligent. He had just currently come back from Amsterdam, which is what they talk about. And he seems to be a stocky person. He has very wide shoulders. He doesn't have any facial hair and he has brown eyes. And he seems to be taller than the other character, Mia. While Mia is a very slender and smart woman, she is almost kind of skinny. She has short brown hair, which is shoulder length, and she has bangs as well. Her hair seems to be black, and she's also Caucasian. And both of these characters are wearing suit-like outfits, business attire. Mia wears specifically a white collared shirt that is slightly unbuttoned and black pants, while Vincent wears a blazer, a white shirt, and black pants. The verbal behavior between both of these characters is interesting. Mia Wallace is very soft-spoken and she has a soft tone in her voice. She knows what she wants. She's very clear about it, while Vincent kind of exaggerates while he talks to her. He is soft when he talks to her. He leans forward. He makes many facial expressions while he's talking to her, specifically when he's asking her questions. But when he leans back and he views other people around the room or mentions other things about his life, he seems to have almost an aggressive manner towards what he is saying. One interaction that I found interesting was Vincent gives Mia a cigarette, and he hand rolls his cigarettes. So when he gave it to her, she took it from him and slowly put it in her mouth, and he lit it for her with his lighter. For physical behavior and gestures, Mia had very soft movements, and I found that she did not move very much while sitting in the booth. She would lean forward when her milkshake had arrived to drink it, obviously. She'd lean forward to grab a cigarette from Vincent. Meanwhile, Vincent almost seemed uncertain or unsteady while sitting in the booth. He was leaning forward talking to Mia, but he was also sitting back a lot and viewing what was going on around the room. Although there was not a lot of traffic going around them or people walking by, he was still interested to see what was going on around them. And gestures is interesting because Mia keeps her arms to her side, but she also keeps one hand up a big majority of the time. She also has she's very good posture. Her shoulders are back a lot. Meanwhile, Vincent almost slouches a little bit while he's sitting in the chair. And when it comes to personal space, both of these characters sat across from each other in the booth rather than beside of each other, which was interesting. Almost so they could have face-to-face interactions and ask interesting questions to one another. And as I talked about earlier, human traffic, there was not much of it considering the scene was a focus on both of them sitting in the booth specifically. But this traffic was important because there was one man that came to take their order, and he came and he took their order, and then he had walked away. So it was a brief moment in the scene that someone else had come in and spoke to both of them. And the one character that stands out specifically in the scene is Mia Wallace, as Vincent chooses to ask her many questions about herself, as he does not talk about himself very much. Also, the camera seems to focus on Mia more than it does on Vincent, and we get more camera angles of Mia than we do of Vincent. Meanwhile, majority of the camera angles on Vincent are straight on. We see side angles of Mia, and we see some up top angles of Mia, as well as face-on angles.